Okay, so I'm waiting for everybody to get here, but accidentally canceled the stream. So here we go. We're gonna just start joining as we get in. So when Mike left, he ended the broadcast. So I just sent the link to everyone. So we going back in a second. I went ahead and went live. So we are live now, and as people get here, we'll add everybody.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to. Who are we missing? Oh, we're just missing Sharice.
Yeah.
What I said? What's that? Sharice. I said.
Yep.
Yeah, she's not in the WhatsApp app, is she?
Yeah. Does somebody know how to get it?
No, you're on the WhatsApp, Nancy. Will you send that to her?
I'm going to put it on through LinkedIn. I'll message her.
Okay, great.
Sharice.
She's like, is there a new link? Is it the same one?
I just hope everybody can find.
There you go. Okay, well,
all right,
Penny found us again. I'm going to put it on. Uh-oh.
All right, there we go.
Oh, it was you, not me. Oh, we got new people. Send your face out is here.
Good.
Yeah.
There we go. No biggie. We recovered quickly.
Totally. All right, so where were we?
Good question. Where were we?
We were birthing.
About energy and protections, and then Mike came on and shared his story. So, yeah.
We were birthing. It's really, I don't know. We did a lot today.
Yeah. So let's talk about the birthing part.
Yes.
So sticking with that analogy, because I had 2 babies. So that part, like when you're on TV and they're like, I want to push. And they're like, no, don't push yet. What is that part where it's like, what are you waiting on in order to then say, now go with the flow versus no, you're not ready? Like, break that down for us.
So I will give you my version of what's happening there. Because there's 2 different types of birth. There's one that's like unassisted, where it's not, or not hospital, and then there's differences there. So the body always knows when it's ready to push. Always knows. Someone from the outside can't tell you it's time for you to push. It's like when my baby started to learn how to crawl, and you know, babies, they do that like heave ho kind of thing. It's not for me to be like, all right, now you're ready. You do it. Like, your body naturally knows when to push. It's almost like what you're experiencing in the hospital is they tell you it's time to push because you're at a certain centimeter. But if your body is not ready to push, this goes into a whole nother thing, but if your body doesn't feel safe enough to push, I don't know if you guys have ever heard me talk about the Finksters, but the Finkster is women have 3, men have 2. And the Finkster is designed to say we're back in the caveman days and we're birthing our baby, and all of a sudden a saber-toothed tiger comes. The Finkster, not safe, closes up. We can go birth our baby somewhere else. The Finkster works today in modern times, which is one of the questions I ask my doula clients. Can you poop in front of me? Because if you can poop in front of me, you can birth in front of me. And so what's happening is when we don't feel safe enough, the pushing might happen by force, which you're most likely to tear. Or if you feel safe, I watched a friend of mine, she laughed her baby out. She didn't even push. It just like, she was laughing and all of a sudden it just, boom. So I think it depends on your environment where you're in, right? Some people can't grow in negative, toxic environments. Some people can. It just depends. But either way you're birthing, the difficulty of the birth is really dependent around your atmosphere. Who do you have? Who's your tribe? Your vibe attracts your tribe. Who's around you? When I gave birth, my last baby I had at home, they didn't tell me to push. My body knew. My body was safe. And the baby just came out. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's kind of like a little bit around that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. I mean, but it just aligns with what we were talking about before, like who you have around you, the fact that, sometimes we're wanting to force things in our life. I want to force, this job. I want to force this relationship. And it's like, that's not really in line with what you're supposed to be doing. But that specific conversation, like I remember that, like there are times where they're like, no, don't push yet. And it's like, well, what are you really waiting on? Because it's like, it hurts. I want this to be done. And a lot of times that's what we do, is like we're going against our body's natural rhythm. And so that easily parlays into the day-to-day practical stuff. Like, what does that really look like? Because like I said, when you be talking about all this spiritual stuff,
right?
I love that. It's just like, okay, let's take it down to birth and how it relates. So,
well, and like I was just saying in our intern, like that birth analogy works so well for me. Like it really sort of overwhelms me, because that it's a beautiful, natural, painful process of becoming. Right. And so the idea that we rebirth sometimes many times in a lifetime, right? And we go through that beautiful, natural, painful process of becoming. And that, again, it just right now, it gives me like.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you my first one, I set a record for the people, because like I said, it's setting the atmosphere. So I had, my Christian gospels going. I was, had my music, because that's what relates to me. And I was just like jamming, like, okay. And they was like, I don't think we have ever had anyone like rocking out to music. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to push. Like, let's do this.
Yeah.
And there he was. But like I said, it's all about controlling your atmosphere and with the vibe you want to have. And then, yeah. So, yeah.
Are you hula hooping, Jairus?
Yeah, that's the hula hoop thing. Oh, Kelly, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to borrow that too, just so you know.
I want to see a video.
It's not mine, just like everything else. Hard for somebody.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just
and
so
Nick,
amazed.
special situation you're in. I see Jairus is gone.
Yeah. Y'all know what? I heard y'all talk about, finding your vibe. And I think that's what's so special to me, to see everybody just coming here. Even Mike, I know he was gonna come in just to get this feel of what we do, and just to see you, Kelly. Now, when I first met you, I just thought you were just straight technical. I didn't know you had all this super information and super jewels to drop. Now I'm like, okay, when did she turn into a philosopher? So I see everybody growing, because I'm glad to see that, Kelly. Like, keep that up, because that gives me what I need, because I'm watching all of y'all. See what I'm saying? So I'm learning a little bit from everybody. So that's what's so special about tonight with me, being around people, finding, we call it a tribe, animal spirits, whatever you want to say. But to me, this is what's helping me. And I learned something new about birthing and all that. So I'm going to try to, mix that up.
Anytime we want to talk birth, Jairus, fine.
Yeah, we're going to get together. We're going to get together. So let me get your name right, so you can get my name right. Don't tell me. Carissa. No, tell me. I've been hearing y'all say it. I don't know. I'm sorry. What is it?
Have I been saying your name wrong?
Yeah, you have.
Oh, dang.
I don't know. I'm sorry. You got the scoop. Sharice.
How do you say your name?
Jairus.
Sharice.
Yeah, Sharice. I don't know why I don't know, where did I get that from? I'm hearing everybody saying, I still ain't got it. What is it? I'm sorry. Sharice.
There you go.
Sharice.
Jared.
I got it. I don't like to mess up on people's names. I've been wanting to use you tonight. I would say, yeah, you was saying you was touching on this and hold and don't go, but it's perfect for what I got going on, because I'm ready to get the scissors. I tell Nancy and Mike all the time, I'm ready to cut some people off, but it's just not ready yet. I'm pushing and it's not ready to go, because if I was pushing, they would have been gone, So if I can stop pushing, get my environment right, and everything else will be right. Did I get it right?
You did. Think of them Finksters, right? Think of those
Now I know.
Finksters. You got 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't want to know where mine at, but it makes sense when you said.
We got 3. Women got 3. Men got 2.
No, I love learning this stuff, y'all. Like, y'all don't really understand. Like, I'm taking notes, and it's like, it's meant for me to be. It's meant for me to be here to pick up all this information. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is totally on the giggle side of it. Like, I love that we really create a safe space because what you guys just did, right? And for so many people watching, we're uncomfortable because in life, right, you're not supposed to, if you've been talking to someone for an hour, go, I'm sorry, I don't know your name. And when they say, have I been pronouncing your name wrong? You just say yes. You're like, oh, it's okay, right? So this space is exactly what we want it to be. We have really created, a space that allows us to be.
I need you
It's
to
modeling, right? Modeling.
Yes.
Say your name one more time. Say your name one more time.
Jairus. Don't worry. I'm going to send you an
Okay.
invite, and we're going to, do our little thing.
I think we are connected because I've seen your stuff before, but I needed to rhyme it. So now I have your name, Jairus.
Yeah,
I just had to add that rhyme to it afterwards.
That's it.
It is.
I don't take offense because I've been like this my whole life. I have a name. You just like, I'm not good at names, so I cannot be mad at anybody. But what I've learned over the years took me a lot of courage to be able to say, yes, you're not saying my name correctly. Because before, I just go whatever they call me. Yeah, that's me. Until this day, people that know me from like when I was a child, you cannot tell them my name is not Jarvis. They're like, well, you used to answer to that. I thought that was your name.
Yeah. I get it on the last name a lot too. People usually say Fontes. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
So I was gonna say that. So what is the last name?
Fonts.
Gotcha.
It's Portuguese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, got a little Greek, a little French, a little Portuguese. The whole name.
That's what's up. What's up.
I had a name that people messed up on purpose. My maiden name, people were so afraid to say it the way it was meant to be said. It's Licker, which absolutely is liquor. And people were always, they're Liker? Nope, liquor. It's just as bad as it looks.
That's solid.
Okay, so I had to totally look it up because it's one of the things that I do in the part of coaching. So I was like, so what does Jairus mean? So Jairus, did you know your name means farmer?
Had no idea.
It's from Slavic origin. And then Charisse, your name is English, French, and Latin, which means deer or cherry.
In one version, in the Greek version, it means grace. So unfavored grace is So there's a Greek version, charis, and then there's the French version of my name. So my mom named me for the grace of it. And interesting thing about my name, it is my mom's first name, Charlotte, and my father's, in the last part of my father's name, Curtis. And that's how she came up with Charisse.
Look at that. All right. So Nancy and Kelly, do you know yours? Felicia means happy. Don't worry about it.
There's some versions of it, but I'm open. Go, please.
Let's see. Kelly. Bright-headed. It's an ancient Irish personal name, originally a by name meaning bright-headed, later understood as frequenting churches.
Okay.
Okay. And then, all right, Nancy, here you go. Let's see. Nancy. Hebrew origin meaning grace.
Oh.
No wonder we get along so well.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, that's one of the things where, like, Josh, when you were talking about earlier about like kind of like where people can start. That's like one of the things that I definitely connect with people and tell them. It's like, well, do you know the meaning of your name? Because like people are speaking that like all the time. It's like, what are people speaking? And so like I know you guys all familiar with it, but when Friday came out, the original movie, then it came back up, went straight out of Compton. It was like, oh, bye, Felicia. And like, that was a trigger for a while. I was like, because in the movie, Felicia was disrespected, dismissive. And I was like, no, you're not going to dismiss me. You're not going to disrespect me. But I took the power back in my name and was basically like, okay, when people are saying that, basically what they're saying is bye happy. And they usually mean it in a good, cheering way. So it's like, okay, yeah, bye happy. So it took away that, no, and just embrace the happy side of that. Anybody that's out there watching, just like how we just did this, doesn't matter how old you are, look up your name, because when people are saying that, that's what they're, speaking. Like, what's the origin? Like, what's the story? Like, we got now, we know Sharice a little bit better, because now we know, okay, you named after your mama and your daddy. The names put to, I'm sorry, did you say your mom or your grandmama?
My mom and dad.
Yeah, mom and dad. Like, you put that together. Like, there was intention to that. Like, something about that. So it's just a way to be, even be able to start conversations with people. Like, well, why did you name me, Felicia? Like, talks about mom. She was like, well, your dad's name was Frederick and it was an F. So Felicia and happy. So it was like, oh, okay. No.
Especially when you say like people are speaking it. I like grace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, if Kelly is like, I never understood, like, what is it about every time I, drive down the street, I have to look at a church.
Yeah. Churches speak to you, Kelly? Does the, not necessarily to enter, but like the architecture and the design, the beauty?
Yeah, as a traveler, absolutely. I can't tell you how many churches I've been to. But yeah, the bright-minded. I have always read it, or when I've looked it up, it meant brave warrior.
I like that one too.
Brave warrior. So I identify with that. At least I try to. I'm like, yeah, I'm brave.
You are.
Indeed.
All right. Well, we can continue talking if you guys would like. I feel like we're at a good, sort of beautiful wrap-up point. Thank you, Felicia. But I'm here as part of the group, and we can, decide. But everybody want to vote? I feel like that was like a perfect.
Yeah.
I
Agreed.
All right.
Thanks everybody for watching. This has been a really good, fun conversation.
Thank you.